do not allow your dog's training or walks to get bumped off the list. Be really, really serious about really scheduling that time in and actually committing to it. It's so important to help manage your dog's stress levels, to make sure that they're getting what they need both mentally and physically. And it's also really healthy for you too, right? You want to get out of the house, schedule that time with your dog. Even if it's snowing out, bundle up. It'll be a ton of fun. Also, have your dog run through the snow actually burns off twice as much energy as when they run through a regular field.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Dog Sense. I am your host, Kathy, and I am joined by my co-host way out in Colorado, Sarah.
Hey guys. All right. So for this podcast episode, so it's kind of a question that we hear about all the time from students, and this is revolving around the holiday season. How the heck do they handle this year? Of course, we're going to have lots of guests coming over, the decorations and everything. There's a ton of things that can go right. There's a ton of things that can go wrong around the holiday season with your dogs.
And it's a topic that if you have a dog you've had for years, it applies to you because you might be missing some of our really great holiday hacks to keep your dog safe. And if you have a new puppy or you've added a dog to your household, this is really appropriate. And we know that you guys have these questions because we get them in emails, we get them from our YouTube videos, and we also get them every single day starting, I'd say, October 1st in classes.
Yeah. All right, guys. So first up is decorating with awareness, right? So when you are decorating with either a new puppy in the house or a new dog in the house. So first of all, if your dog likes to chew, things like having wood decorations around, he might decide that those are an awesome new chew toy. It could be things like he thinks that you put a new indoor potty area for him with that lovely decorated tree in the living room. So it could be those decorations are new and novel in your home, and they can be of high level or interest to your puppy or your dog. And also be aware that even if you have an adult or older dog, you still don't want to let your guard down, right? So a lot of our holiday redecorating stories start with, in all the years that we've had her, she's never once done blah, blah, blah until last night, right? So I'm sure Kathy has a ton of stories where it's a fully trained dog. It's lived in the home for 4 or 5 years. It's never had an issue with, the garland running down the stairs.
Well, I happen to have a story. Someone who I won't say who it was. Again, we protect your anonymity. If you want to tell us a story, we'll tell it on the show, but we won't say who it was. So he had a dog who was not that new to him. It was like 3 years old, and they had the tree up and all of that. And you know how sometimes you start accumulating gifts before the actual holiday, and the housekeeper let the dog out while they were cleaning, as they often did. And the dog got into a 3-pound, possibly more, box of Whitman's chocolate. You know, the sampler, the big box. Yeah. So I was enlisted to come over and help because the babysitter was home with their son. And it was a matter of getting the dog to vomit, the old hydrogen peroxide thing. We were on the phone with the vet. And basically we did get the dog to vomit the chocolate, thank God, and then took it to the vet. But the problem was the instructions I gave them were, okay, now let's run him around the yard to get the stomach churning after the vet told us to give him peroxide, and don't let go of the leash. But what do you think happened? Let go of the leash. This dog took a hard right into the house, up the stairs, into the parents' bedroom with their snow white carpet. And he basically bazooka bar power washed that carpet with chocolate. Yeah, and I remember calling them to give them the news. And I'm like, I have good news for you. There's no more chocolate in his stomach. They're like, oh, he's going to live. I'm like, it's a little bad news, though. Your carpet is no longer white. They were like, it's okay. We just love the dog. But they said it in a way where you knew it wasn't really okay.
That was going to be painful. Yeah.
Keep your stuff where the dog can't get to it. That's the bottom line.
Guys. All right. And the hydrogen peroxide hack is a good one. Just please make sure the dog is outside and that it cannot get back in the house, because that stuff comes up real quick.
And it's on leash, because if you don't have it on leash, they vomit and then they eat it again. And you're like, oh no. Yes. Or if you have another dog, the other dog eats it. It's a hot mess.
Guys, we've heard it all and we've seen it all. Just listen to us. If you hydrogen peroxide your dog, put it on a leash outside.
Yeah, you can't shock us. And I want to also say that does not preclude a vet visit, because after he did vomit, we did take him to the vet, right? Because
absolutely
checked out. All right. So next, I had a student who got a new puppy right around the holidays, and she and I crafted an email that she sent to everybody who was coming over. And it was the infamous Dear Guest letter. And what that was our way of saying, hey, there's a new puppy in the house, and we have some rules that we'd like you to follow. If the puppy's in the crate, don't sneak them out. If you want to give them food, don't. We'll give you treats. We can teach you how to do commands, right? Don't keep saying the name. Like, just if they jump on you, don't pet them. Things that we want the puppies to not learn and get bad habits from. And she actually flat out said in the email, if you feel that you cannot for any reason follow these rules, then, happy holidays don't come. And she said it in a beautifully loving way. But they all had a reply to this email and say, got it. And that was like the signature. And
that was your RSVP.
She also didn't want to deal with the questions. Can he come out of his crate? Can I give him just let's have a holiday. And you all are now semi-trained to interact with my dog for 6 hours. And if it's too much for you, don't come. And I love that. It made the party a lot better, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So next up, super common thing, right? So during the holidays, your to-do list gets ramped up tenfold, right? And you do so many other things that you have to get done. Do not allow your dog's training or walks to get bumped off the list. Be really, really serious about really scheduling that time in and actually committing to it. It's so important to help manage your dog's stress levels, to make sure that they're getting what they need, both mentally and physically. And it's also really healthy for you too, right? You want to get out of the house, schedule that time with your dog. Even if it's snowing out, bundle up. It'll be a ton of fun. Also, having your dog run through the snow actually burns off twice as much energy as when they run through a regular field. So you can get a little bit more exercise done in half the time by using the resistance of the snow to play with your dog and everything. So
and you know about that because you in Colorado get hideous amounts of snow.
I love it.
What was it in like June? You got snow? That was ridiculous. Like 2
No, it was, I think it was March, but we got slammed with literally the drifts were 4 to 6 feet. But I love that because then I can send my videos, sending my dogs chasing after. Again, you throw the ball, it disappears into the snow. You then send your dog after it. They have to chase. They have to, first of all, trudge through all that resistance of the snow and then search for their ball. It's amazing.
It's not amazing. That's why I live in Colorado. It's amazing.
But really, yeah. But really important. Don't let the dog's walks go from, an awesome 15, 20-minute training walk to just being a 5-minute potty walk, because you're going to see the fallout from that in other areas of your day. Be really serious, schedule that time, make it a priority to get out there and train your dog or walk them, whatever you guys love to do together.
Yeah. I'd rather have you take other things off your list than that. Obviously we're dog trainers, but really it plays into your mental health, having a tired dog whose training is moving along. It really does. Yeah. All right. Next, the thing no one ever expects to happen. The dog jumps on the table and eats all the holiday M&Ms out of the bowl, or jumps up and grabs a stocking off the mantle and rips into it, or they ate the dreidel. That happened. I don't have to tell the story. Basically, the story is the dog ate the dreidel. And everyone's looking around, where's the dreidel? And then the dog is just laying there like, oh no. And they saw splinter wood in his teeth and get him to the ER. Now, because they're my students, they knew what their local ER was. And you need to know that too. In addition, if you are going somewhere else for the holidays with your dog, please look up the nearest 24/7 animal emergency clinic and have it in your phone. Because if your dog has ingested something unsafe, you are going to be scared. Nobody's thinking calmly. So if you have this information already in your phone, you are good to go. You're going to have a lot less stress. But you know what? Manage your dog better. Don't let this stuff happen. But when it does, at least you know where you're going.
Yep, absolutely. Up next, this will help so much in preventing those emergencies from happening as well, right? So during the holiday season, Kathy and I have specific chest freezers out in the garage that are filled with stuffed frozen food toys. Variety of different proteins, different fun snacks, different values. There's a fish one that's really gross, but the dogs love it. There's peanut butter. There's all different kinds of proteins, all this good stuff. We actually have an ebook that Perfect Dog Pacifiers that has a ton of our favorite recipes in there. And basically having these frozen food toys will help you so much during those busy holiday times. Maybe you need to wrap presents for 3 hours and you took the dog out on that walk, but you can tell the dog still has a little bit of energy. You need the dog somewhere safe where he won't bother you. So Pop Him in the Crate was an awesome food toy. You now have a couple hours of free time where your dog is occupied, mental enrichment, mental engagement. They're chewing on that toy, figuring it out while you can get other things done. Same thing with if you're having guests over, or maybe you need to go out on a really long shopping trip and you didn't get a chance to walk the dog in the morning, but you're going to do it at night. In order to I do this all the time. It helps with my guilt of maybe the dog didn't get enough physical exercise. If I've got an awesome Kong, I'm like, we're good. I'll put him in the crate. They'll chew the Kong. I'll get the walk done later. But right now, I have to go do holiday shopping for 4 hours. So the puzzle toys are really, really awesome to not only help keep your dog occupied for that period of time, but it provides some mental enrichment for them as well, instead of just being in the crate.
Because when they're chewing, we know their body releases endorphins, right? So that's helping them feel good. It's helping their mood. So it's a really good thing. But Sarah, sometimes you need a little bit more, and you might need a literal dog nanny. And that can be in the form of your neighbor or somebody you hire, because maybe your dog is a puppy and needs to go out a lot, or maybe your dog is super energetic and needs to have walks. So what people do is they have somebody during the party, the event, take their dog out to have a little stroll, a little walk, a little game of fetch, and it alleviates so much of the stress and what you said, the guilt of having that dog be up in the bedroom while you're having that party, which, look, legit, sometimes, most times, your dog should be up and away from the excitement, right? Because people give them stuff that they shouldn't eat, and people let them jump, and people leave doors open. So it's many times the safest place for the dog. But if you have a super high drive dog, they need to be away from the chaos, but also have their needs met. And so this is where hiring that pet sitter is a really great idea. And I've had students who hired them and they were hanging out in the room with the dog for the whole party. Right. They would give the person food, the person was happy, dog, and they would go for a walk. And there are people in this world who would rather be in the company of a dog than a party anyway. So don't overlook people that are coming to the party. That's Sarah. Sarah's
me at every holiday team party you have. Where am I? I'm like, hey, Kathy, do the dogs need to walk? Hey, Kathy, I'll go take your dog. You stay with the party. I'm going to go run the dogs outside. They look like they could need a break, right? That if you can't find me at the team holiday party, I'm outside with the dogs.
She's usually outside with the dogs. You can't find her.
Anyway.
All right, so those are our best tips, and we want to stress that they are tried and true. We have been telling these to people for 20 or more years. And if you follow even just a few of them, you're going to find that your holidays are much easier to navigate.
Yep. All right, guys. As always, if you like what you hear, jump over to whichever service you subscribe from or download from and like, rate, subscribe, tell a friend, share this episode somewhere to help spread the word so that we can continue to create an awesome community of dog lovers and learners.
All right, guys. Happy holidays. Be safe, be smart, and enjoy your dogs.